about comics. Let's talk about comics. Let's talk about comics. Let's talk about comics.
Around Bay YouTube, it's Charles here, and today I want to talk about what I consider an underrated comic book, and that is The First Americans. It is from Critical Entertainment, and I think one of the major things it has against it is a very inconsistent release schedule. I remember the first two issues came out last spring, and I honestly thought that the series had gotten dropped until I noticed number three and picked it up, this week. But it was a good few months in between the issues, and so it has that going against it. Plus, it's not as wordy as a lot of comic books, but at the same time, it does tell stories through the art as well. And it's, a very thick book, and so you can see that what it lacks in words, it makes up for in sheer volume. But not just that, though. The emotion and the storytelling through the art itself. The facial expressions, the way that they react to things. It's a very, very beautifully drawn book. Is actually illustrated by a guy named Tad Galusha, written by Christopher Rada. And this one cracked me up a little bit because of the lack of words, but is lettered by Travis Lanham. And there is words, but it's mostly just grunts, different noises, occasional language, but very rare, maybe one or two lines per book. But it's trying to capture the essence of these first Americans to cross over from Siberia and inhabit the United States inhabit the North American continent, not the United States, the North American continent. And the story is so far, and this one we're following a tribe who's really struggling in Siberia, and so they're on the hunt for this elusive herd of mammoth. Here, I'll just read you a little bit of the what they have written here. At the end of the Ice Age, on the brink of starvation, a brave tribe of Paleo Indians journey from Siberia to North America to hunt an elusive herd of mammoths. When they fail to hunt down the beast, the tribe must struggle through unexplored lands to survive or face becoming extinct. And the main story is between these two characters, this woman who is clearly the matriarch of the tribe, and a man who she had a budding relationship with, seemingly, but he got separated from the group. And in the first two issues, you saw his struggles of trying to survive alone in this unknown land, and teaming up with this wolf who had been outcast from his pack, and they're kind of forming a bond. And you see both of these groups, the group of Paleo Indians, still led by the matriarch, getting to know the fauna and the different plant life, and trying to find out what's safe to eat, what's not safe to eat. And we get to this very interesting couple of pages right here. We see that the guy on his own, he comes across these berries, and he ponders, he tries them, and instantly pukes. But then you see the matriarch with her group, she comes across the same berries, and she observes, and I believe that she ends up using them as bait for this deer. And so you get to see how they interact with this new land, how they survive, the different things going on. A funny scene here where the guy encounters a skunk for the first time, and the predictable happens. And at a point, the guy is lost, and it's a very emotional scene, even though it doesn't have dialogue. But the guy is using this tree to kind of get a surveil of the land, so he would climb up it to see what was going on, and he also marked it so that he would know where he was. And you can also see that this is a place where the tribe passed by as well. But you see the heartbreak when he comes back to the tree that he's already been to, and he finds out that he hasn't really made any progress, and the fear and the heartbreak and the anger. And like I said, it is a very, very beautifully drawn book with a lot of story. And yeah, more than just a picture book. It's really worth your time. So that's it. Check out The First Americans. We're on issue number 3. And I will see you next time. Until then, keep reading them books. I'm out.